Anne Frank was born on June 12, 1929, in Frankfurt, Germany, to Otto and Edith Frank. She had an older sister, Margot. The Franks were a well-to-do Jewish family with liberal values, and they lived comfortably in Germany until the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime in the early 1930s. As anti-Semitic policies intensified, Otto Frank decided to move his family to the Netherlands, seeking refuge from persecution. In 1933, the Franks settled in Amsterdam, where Anne and Margot attended school and adjusted to their new life. However, the Nazi invasion of the Netherlands in 1940 brought new dangers. Jewish citizens faced increasing restrictions, and by 1942, the Franks realized they had to go into hiding to avoid deportation to concentration camps. Otto Frank arranged a secret annex behind his business premises at Prinsengracht 263, where the family, along with 4 other Jewish people, lived in concealment for over 2 years. Despite the harsh circumstances, Anne continued to nurture her passion for reading and writing. She kept a diary, which would later become one of the most famous personal accounts of the Holocaust. Unfortunately, the hidden group was betrayed and arrested by the Gestapo in August 1944. Anne and her sister Margot were deported to Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, where they perished in early 1945, just weeks before the camp's liberation. Otto Frank, the only survivor of the family, later fulfilled Anne's posthumous wish by publishing her diary. Main works. Anne Frank's most significant literary contribution is The Diary of a Young Girl, also known as The Diary of Anne Frank. She began writing this diary at the age of 13 and chronicled her life in hiding from June 1942 to August 1944, and intended her diary to be a personal account, but later revised it in the hope that it would be published as a historical record after the war. The diary is remarkable for its honesty, introspection, and depth of thought. It captures Anne's emotions, fears, and hopes, while also documenting daily life in the secret annex. She wrote about her relationships with family members, her evolving self-awareness, and her aspirations to become a writer. Her reflections on human nature, resilience, and the horrors of war make the diary a poignant and enduring piece of literature. Since its first publication in Dutch in 1947 under the title Het Achterhuis, The Secret Annex, the diary has been translated into over 70 languages and has sold millions of copies worldwide. It has inspired plays, films, and museum exhibits, ensuring Anne Frank's voice continues to resonate with generations of readers. Beyond her diary, Anne also wrote short stories and essays while in hiding. These writings reveal her literary talent and her desire to document the world around her. However, they remain lesser known compared to her famous diary. Stories. Throughout her diary, Anne Frank shared numerous stories that offered insight into her personality, sense of humor, and perspective on life in hiding. She recounted a humorous incident in which she and Peter tried to get a glimpse of the outside world through a tiny window, only to be scared by the sound of a cat on the roof. Despite the horrors of war, Anne remained a typical teenage girl who found laughter and hope in small moments. A memorable anecdote from Anne's diary concerns her secret romance with Peter Van Pels, the teenage son of the Van Pels family. She describes their growing bond, the comfort they found in each other, and the stolen moments they shared in the attic. Although Anne later questioned her feelings for Peter, their relationship provided her with emotional support during the challenging months she spent hiding. Another touching moment in the diary is Anne's account of her birthday celebrations. Despite the dire circumstances, her family and friends in the annex made an effort to make her birthday special. In 1943, she received a small bouquet and a homemade cake, which she cherished as a rare moment of joy amidst adversity. Controversies. Over the years, the diary of a young girl has been the subject of various controversies. One of the primary debates revolves around its authenticity. Some Holocaust deniers have falsely claimed that Anne's diary was fabricated, arguing that a young girl could not have written with such maturity and eloquence. However, extensive research, forensic handwriting analysis, and Otto Frank's testimony have thoroughly debunked these claims. The original manuscripts, preserved in the Anne Frank House in Amsterdam, further confirm the diary's authenticity. Another controversy concerns the various editions of the diary. When Otto Frank first published it, he omitted sections that contained Anne's criticisms of her mother and discussions about puberty and sexuality. In later editions, these passages were reinstated, sparking debates about censorship and whether Anne's unfiltered voice should be made public. Additionally, the diary of a young girl has been challenged in some schools and libraries due to its frank discussions about sexuality and Anne's thoughts on relationships. Some educators and parents have argued that these topics are inappropriate for younger readers, while others maintain that the diary provides an essential historical and human perspective on the Holocaust. Despite these controversies, the diary of a young girl remains an essential document of Holocaust history. Its emotional power and universal themes continue to resonate with readers, underscoring the importance of learning from the past to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Conclusion. Anne Frank's life and writing serve as a powerful reminder of the human spirit's resilience. Her diary, penned during one of history's darkest times, offers a deeply personal and poignant account of hope, fear, and the longing for freedom. Through her words, Anne transcended her tragic fate, leaving behind a literary legacy that continues to educate and inspire people worldwide. Although she perished at a young age, her voice lives on, ensuring that future generations never forget the horrors of the Holocaust and the enduring power of hope and humanity.